So happy with the performance of the team. We kept a clean sheet and we looked, so at it. The body language of every player is absolutely the right one, and delighted.
That's hard to take, isn't it? That late on.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. The players were, of course, devastated, and praised them for a good performance. I think we did a top job to keep two of the best wingers in the league quiet throughout the game. So it's just one top action from Saka in the end, and great movement from Havertz, and then unfortunately score.
The cross was amazing, and I thought maybe why not to do this run, and the ball was perfect, and maybe that I scored.
It's an old cliche in the game that when you're going to win titles, you have to win games when you're not at your best. I think in terms of fluent creativity, you'd admit you weren't at your best today, but you've won the game.
I think we're at our best today. You cannot have a fluid game here against the way they play. They don't allow you to have a fluent game. The game is a stop, start, and you have to play that game. Unfortunately, sometimes you cannot play the game that you want.
Yep, Kai Havertz with that all-important goal. It wasn't the most attractive game to watch, but 1-0 to the Arsenal. I think we've heard that once or twice over the years. They're top of the table after 13 games, which is exactly where they were at this time last season. But they're doing things slightly differently, don't you think?
I think so, yeah. Defensively, very sound. I think it's offensively where we're maybe not creating as much, especially when we're getting teams who play in that way, that low block. You can see we're not scoring as many goals as last season, but conceding a lot less, and I think that's what you do. Going back to George Graham, it's build from defence. And if you're like they did do very, very well today against our two wingers, but in the end, you don't need much in respect of Saka.
Yeah. I suppose perhaps the positive thing, Alan, for Arsenal in particular is that they're doing that without perhaps finding that fluency that they had last year.
Yeah, they got Jesus in there who didn't have his best game today, and Nketiah to come on. There's definitely room for improvement. They're tough to play against. They don't give very much away, do they? So when you look at the different aspects of the player, then that's one thing they can without doubt improve on, is in forward areas.
Yeah. You were very excited at the end of the game. I think I caught you on video that did quite well on social media. It's gone viral. Are they going to do it, Ian? Are they going to win the league?
I hope so. That's what we're all hoping for. Going to try and take the joy when you can, but that's a great result against Brentford. You just got to take the joy when it comes. I'm pleased for Kai, pleased for Aaron.
And you most certainly did. Ian, Alan, thank you very much. Before we go, let's have a look at the
This was another good performance from us. We have now played 13 games, 12 good performances. So is this we need to keep building us on. Of course, it's tougher to take when you lose in the last couple of minutes of the game, in a game where we did more than enough to easily get a draw, and it could easily have been us that won.
We are so happy. I think we fully deserve to win the game. I think the team competed extraordinarily well. We played and we had some big moments. We should have scored much earlier than that. But it's a really tough place to come. Credit to them for what they do, because they make it really hard for every team here. But I think we showed, a lot of resilience and a lot of belief, and we were really patient when we had to be, and we competed really well.
Mikel Arteta has more wins from his first 200 games as Arsenal manager than any other, including Arsene Wenger, which is an absolutely fantastic record, and he's an incredible company in that as well. And it just goes to show how far he's evolved as a manager as well. But to do it in a game where Arsenal go top of the table as well, that must have felt sweet for him.
Yeah, no, he's done a fantastic job since he's taken over. Obviously, 200 games with a club like Arsenal is tough in itself. You think about the short-term managers have. And he's done a fantastic job. This is a young team, but I think they're improving every season under him. But that would be a huge win, because that's a tough place to go and play football. Brentford are a really well-coached side, a good side. And I think he'll be delighted. They weren't at the best today, but they got the job done when they needed to. Yeah,
the performance wasn't pretty, was it? But as Owen said, it was all about the points for them. And it was Kai Havertz that scored the decisive goal. An unlikely goal scorer?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a few opportunities this season, but he just hasn't taken them. And as I said, hopefully this will kickstart his season now for Arsenal, because I think people are still waiting. Where's his best position? Where's he going to almost kick into life? But listen, he gets himself into a really good position here. An overload at the back post. Great ball from Saka. And it's determination, because he gets it. And I think that type of delivery from Saka, it's very, very hard to defend. But he pulls onto the shoulder, as I said, gets between the fullback and the centre half, gets his head down, heads it into the ground, which is what Gabriel Jesus should have done the first half. And he scores a goal, and it's a really good goal by him.
Yeah, Kai is brilliant in the air. And with his physical size, sometimes if you're a team, just put the ball in the box. You know, play to Kai's strengths. You know, I know he's a ball player and he wants to get it down to feet, but actually physically in the air, he's very, very good. And it's a great option, a great weapon for this Arsenal side.
And you're a big fan of his, aren't you?
Yeah, I think he's a great player. I think because he's his body language sometimes might remind people a little bit of Özil. You know, that he's so calm on the ball, and I think he can play all these different positions. But I think he can be a fantastic player if given the opportunity to play the same position more consistently. I think he played this midweek for Germany. He played left wing back. Today he came on as a false nine. He plays off the right. He can be a number 10. So
who else can do that? Hey.
No, I think it's tough as a player to play that many different positions.
Speaking of it being tough for a player, what about for Aaron Ramsdale today? Of course, he stepped in because David Raya was ineligible to play against his parent club, and there was so much in the build-up to this match about Ramsdale. How did he fare today?
Yeah, first off, he struggled. I mean, we saw it there. The first one kicks out of play, and this one here gets away with it, you'd have to say. The passes are on, he almost panics a little bit, he flaps at it, and then Declan Rice bails him out of trouble there with a great defensive block on the line. I mean, this is the one I can't really get my head around because I don't know where he's trying to throw it. It almost feels like last minute he changes his mind. It's like, oh no, throws it into the ground. But again, you have days like this, he managed to get away with it. He was a lot calmer second half, as you can see from this clip here, a lot calmer. Maybe a few words were said at half time, just relax. Do you know what I mean? You're fine, like relax. Because he certainly came out with a different energy second half than he did first half. First half, as we just spoke about, a little bit tentative, a little bit unsure. Second half, he was a lot better.
We all felt bad for him because he'd been dropped, and he probably didn't deserve to be dropped. But you know, Arteta came in and brought in Raya, who thinks a little bit better with his feet, maybe a little bit calmer. You know, I think we all wanted Ramsdale to have a good game today. That first half was shaky, to say the least. But you know what? It didn't cost them. You know, they kept a clean sheet. They won the game. Kai Havertz scored, you know, and he got an opportunity to play. And the team spirit around Ramsdale at the end of the game, the way they went up to him and supported him, tells you a lot about this team.
Yeah, we were discussing, weren't we, when we covered this on Matchday Live, that nobody can really understand why Mikel Arteta has decided to play it this way and not rotate the goalkeepers and stick with David Raya. As a striker, who would you rather go up against, Raya or Ramsdale?
Well, it's a difficult one because, listen, they're both very good goalkeepers. I mean, you don't play in the Premier League if you're not a good goalkeeper. But it's just almost like, for Ramsdale, I don't think he did too much wrong to be dropped in the first place. So I believe he's a better all-round goalkeeper, but clearly Mikel Arteta is obviously the Arsenal manager, has seen something in David Raya which he quite likes, he favours. I think he tried to even get him before. And he feels that David Raya, moving forward, is Arsenal's first-choice goalkeeper. But listen, Ramsdale's a very good goalkeeper. He won't be sitting on that bench for too much longer, I don't believe anyway.
OK, well, on that note, it is time for us to take a break. After
الاتحاد يتعادل مع الاتفاق في أولى مباريات غاياردو. تعادل الاتحاد مع مضيفي الاتفاق 1-1 يوم الجمعة ضمن منافسات الجولة 14 من دوري روشن السعودي. وتقدم الاتفاق عن طريق جورجينيو فينادوم في الدقيقة 41 قبل أن يدرك عبد الرزاق حمد الله التعادل للاتحاد في الدقيقة 54. ورفع الاتحاد رصيده إلى 25 نقطة في المركز الخامس، فيما رفع الاتفاق رصيده إلى 23 نقطة في المركز السابع. وفي مباراة أخرى بنفس الجولة خطف الرياض فوزا في الدقائق الأخيرة على مضيف التعاون 2-1. وتقدم التعاون في الدقيقة 4 عن طريق جواو بيدرو قبل أن يدرك الرياض التعادل عن طريق صالح العباس في الدقيقة 72. وفي الدقيقة 10 من الوقت المحتسب بدلا من الضائع للشوط الثاني سجل بيراما تراوري الهدف الثاني للرياض، ورفع الرياض رصيده إلى 15 نقطة في المركز الثاني عشر، فيما تجمد رصيد التعاون عند 25 نقطة في المركز الخامس.